And it's good to see the boys are having faith in the regime, man. I'm actually kind of excited about it. People, that means we're getting a lot of fresh new bodies, a lot of people who want to pump and interested in this, man. These patch notes were released last night. Like I mentioned before, you guys will have an update. So make sure to update your game. Here we go. Patch notes. Patch notes, patch notes, patch notes, and bug fixes, boys. Let's hopefully we get some good news here. All right. Faction missions. Here we go, boys. We adjusted the rates of influence gain over time, that it will continue to require significant effort over time to flip a territory into the conflict state. Reduce the amount of influence increase over time significantly for attacking factions. This is to account for the bug that we found where the increase was multiplied much faster than intended over time. Now, as you guys know, the strat for this usually is just getting a bunch of your people on your faction together, getting multiple companies together, scheduling out a date, and just being like, okay, at this time, we're going to pump these quests. Hopefully you get enough people to pump those PvP quests to push into conflict, push that bar to fill up that bar to push it into conflict quickly before, you know, the opposing faction has any time to react. They made it so it is a little bit more difficult now, just puts a little more work in, more leg work in, if you will, needing more bodies to kind of push that bar, which I kind of think overall is probably needed. As you guys know, you could push a bar so fast with enough bodies, right? So I think people are just kind of taking advantage of that. So they just made it taking a little bit more work. That way, maybe the opposing faction has more time to retaliate, and that would work in our favor if somebody was attacking us. And then obviously remove the decrease in influence over time for defending factions. Now, I actually like this change overall. So I'm assuming how it was before is it decayed over a period of time. So let's just say if we owned Cutlass and they tried to do a bunch of quests to put Cutlass into conflict, if they just did it one night and never did it, you know, for the next couple of days, my guess is there was some sort of decay. Now there is no decay, which I kind of feel like with how hard people are going and wanting, and I think the health of the game, I think this is a good change overall. That way, you know, the opposing faction, if you want to defend your territory, you got to put some legwork in, you know, and if you want to keep reaping those rewards, you got to put the legwork in to push that influence bar down. So I actually think that's pretty good. It keeps people active, which I'm all for. If it keeps people active in the game, boy, Rev is for it. Okay. Bug fixes. Here we go, boys. Lots of bugs, all these bugs. Okay, here we go. General bug fixes. Fix an issue where players could respawn as a corpse. My boy Stanley came through, chat. The boy Stanley came through, man. It was only like a week late, and he didn't pull through when we needed him. But hey, we're getting the bug fixed. So Stanley pulled through for the boys, man. You love to see it. Fix an issue where the tier 3 fishing treasure chest wouldn't fight back after being hooked. I mean, I don't really fish, but that sounds like an issue. Fix various localization issues in text fields. Fix an issue causing players kicked, suspended, banned, or removed from the game by the easy anti-cheat to receive unclear communication. Additional messaging has been added so players have a better understanding of the penalty they received. Great job. I mean, obviously, if the people getting banned suck to suck, but at least now, hopefully, we actually have a reason. They're not going to pull a blizzard of just you getting banned for no reason and having zero explanation. So shout out to New World. Hopefully, they can give us some sort of reasoning for those of you gotten banned. Cheaters, the exploiters. All right. Fix an issue causing territory influence to be reset after an invasion. That was a pretty nasty bug. That was actually what saved, in my opinion, what saved Ebonscale before taking over when we lost Reekwater. Ebonscale was also trying to become in conflict, but what saved him was the corruption invasion, and it reset their progress, the green progress. So, saved. Fix an issue where players attempting to take a split amount of stacked items from a different settlement of their faction, what the faction owns, they were charged for the entire cost of the items in the stack. And Forge, glad they fixed that. Fix the game crush. We wouldn't know because we don't own more than one territory. Hopefully it's a good change though. Fix the game crash caused by a player targeting another player with a healing effect the exact same moment they fast traveled or teleported away. Monka S. Fix an issue reducing variety and potential quantity of loot obtained from the game modes and chests within the world. Where we okay? I mean, you know, I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad, but hopefully it's good. Fix an issue causing some crafting bonuses to not provide the minimum of intended values. Okay. Fix an issue where overflow of items in the storage transferred to a different territory. Fix an issue where petting barking. I don't know what this is, bro. It caused the camera to jitter. Here's the thing, bro. The camera jittering causing me epilepsy, bro. I'm glad they fixed that. Fix an issue where the ice pylon ability to not cool down appropriately. I want to be honest, man. I know ice pylon wrecks. I think it's more of a PvE thing because in PvP it's kind of a meme. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but it literally dies in like one shot. So this must be a PvE thing. Fix an issue where the settlement storage can become massively overflowed by expired contracts. See, oh, this was a big one. I'll reread it. Fix an issue where settlement storage can become massively overflowed by expired contracts. So if you guys looked at like the last out of all, like, you know how in your inventory you have different tabs of like the different items and stuff. And the last one you had a bunch of like contracts and stuff that were all like quest items. I was always wondering why I had so many of those, because didn't have enough quests for the amount of like contracts that I had. Because those contracts are things like, you know, it could be anything. It could be like your armory stuff, like whatever it is. And you just have I mean, it didn't take up a lot of weight, so it wasn't a big deal. It was just like really annoying to have all those stacked up, especially when you finish them. Fix an issue where player movement could stutter after becoming encumbered for logging. Koi, where you at, bro? Fix an issue where player movement could stutter after becoming encumbered from logging. There it is, man. I think they fixed us, boys. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Fix an issue where there were not enough chests at Hapless Homestead to fulfill faction quest requirements. I mean, there's a lot of places in the game that have this issue. So I hope that there's more that they address, because nothing is worse than it's like loot 7 chests and there's only 6. And this 7th one, you're like looking around the whole place for it, and to find out it's like non-existent. So you have to wait for the reset or the respawn, or I guess the chest respawn. It's the most annoying thing. So hopefully they can address that for every place in the game. Fix an issue causing players to randomly teleport. I could have used this to my advantage, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't. Fix an issue where players disappear standing still when a campsite turret blueprint is being held. Look at us. Fix visual issue causing repeater turrets to appear as if they were firing projectiles at an angle that did not align with the turret. I mean, at this point, you know, the repeaters are kind of dookie now. So, but I'm glad they fixed the bug regardless. Fix miscellaneous and game crashes. Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm cool with that. Some AI fixes. I mean, just, you know, typical AI fix stuff. I don't think. Oh, this is the big one actually. So the AI fixes an issue where the marsh jaw respawns slower than intended. Obviously, as we know, the respawn rates in some areas is kind of dookie. Sometimes it's too fast, sometimes not fast enough. Fix an issue causing certain bears to respawn faster than intended. So I mean, at least they're addressing some things. But here's the big one, boys. Here's the big one. Here it is. Fixed an issue where causing twice the intended number of boars to spawn at the Boar's Home POI in Restless Shores. For all of my boys out there that are trying to take advantage of it, they finally nerfed it, boys. Now, I will say this before and I'll say it again, okay? Your boy Rev has been through his fair share of MMOs, okay? Vita C, baby. Give me one sec, bro. Let me finish this up and I got you, okay? I've had my fair share of MMOs. I've played a lot of different MMOs. And here's one thing that is consistent that I've seen in multiple game companies, multiple games, multiple times. The biggest advantages that you get is at the start of whatever it is. So at the release of a game, at the release of an expansion, whatever it may be. Because as you guys know, there's a lot of bugs and issues that make it really crappy for a lot of people, the experience. At the same time, there are also a lot of bugs that like are game breaking that you can use to your advantage. And I'm not saying 100%, but like a very high percentage of the time, if you use those things to your advantage, very rarely, if at all, any kind of consequence will happen, especially if it's something that everyone can do, right? And this is an example of that. So what I mean, and we'll use this as an example, the Boar's Home thing, for those of you who don't know, it's a place in like North Restless Shores, I think, where it was just a camp of boars and you had to go there for a quest. Well, what people will do is that it's such a compact area with like literally dozens of boars that are all in just such a close vicinity, and they're all melee, right? So they all, you know, collapse. They would respawn at such a fast rate that you could literally just pull the whole camp, kill them, and then a whole new set would respawn. It was so broken. And what people would do is basically use that for weapon experience, leveling experience, and getting up your skinning to 200. Now, myself, I actually kind of stumbled across it. I actually had no idea that was a strategy. I was just happening to level there early on, and I saw like a handful of people farming it. And, you know, my intuition, I was just like, okay, there's probably some sort of advantage going on here. I thought it was for experience, like leveling, because I was just trying to find a way to level. I was like 40, 50 something. I went down there and I started killing some boars. I'm like, okay, like I was like, the experience is not that great, but I'm getting some good weapon experience. Cool. So I just kept killing them, and then I started seeing all these people trying to skin instead of kill. And I was like the only one killing boars, and everyone's trying to skin them. I'm like, man, screw these people. So I would aggro all the boars and I would drag them over to the people skinning. And so they, the aggro, how it all works in this game is they would get all the aggro and it would stop their skinning, and I would just skin it. I was kind of toxic. It was kind of toxic, but hey, you know what, bro? They started it. I just finished it. So I actually ended up like skinning everything. I just ended up skinning everything, bro. And I actually went from like 150, 125 skinning to 200 like instantly, bro. It was crazy how fast it is, but now it's nerfed. So going back to the premise of what I'm trying to say, anytime there's a release, whether it's an expansion or some sort of new content, there are a lot of bad bugs, but there's also a lot of potential good game-breaking bugs, and this is one of them, and chances are they're not going to do anything about it. So the people who, use it to their advantage and gain all that, whatever level you're skinning, experience, weapon experience, you just walk away and act like it never happened, bro. And you get to capitalize on it. So that's one thing that I've noticed too. So just, I've said it before, I'll say it again, just take advantage of those things, but now it's nerfed. So unfortunate. All right. I mean, I'm kind of glad though, it was kind of broken, but like I said, the people took advantage of it. We just walk away like nothing happened. Okay. Let's see. Store fixes fiction issue where players can be prompted to purchase an item they had previously started unlocking process. Okay, yeah, there were some bugs with the store stuff. Fix an issue where store previews for skins were not working correctly. Yeah, there were some skins I was like, I want to just like look and just see what it looked like on me, and I couldn't because it was buggy. So hopefully we can check it out. Fix an issue where the Righteous Guardian armor skin would not change color in war. That was me. You guys saw like we go in war, we'd be one side or the other, and it wouldn't change. I would still be my same color. So I'd be curious to see what it looks like now. Fix an issue where the runic bear armor skin will not change color in war. Okay. Fix an issue where causing incorrect poses when previewing store items. There it is. So that is your patch notes from last night, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to, before you log in today, you will have some updates. And but overall, I do think it's great. I think there's a couple of big things in here, big changes in here that were definitely needed. So overall, happy about it. Glad to see Amazon capitalizing on their game.